Incomplete.
SKD and CKD.
That is your unassembled and disassembled. The difference between CKD and SKD. So whether your article is coming in a CKD form or it is coming in an SKD form, Rule 2A is telling you how these type of condition articles have to be classified. Because when you're looking at it, you cannot see the complete article. It's in broken. It's like it's in different packages. Okay, so you don't know what is to be done, whether you should classify them separately or whether you should classify them as a whole item. So what Rule 2A says that if your article is an incomplete, unfinished, unassembled or disassembled, then they have to be classified under the same heading of the finished articles or the assembled article, provided the articles which are imported have the same essential character of the finished article. So what does this mean? This means that even if the painting is not done, or if the coating is not done, or the threading is not done, apparently the characteristic of that particular article is giving you the characteristic of the main article, the final article. So that should be evident. That should be seen. Similarly, a CKD condition or an SKD condition goods, it's only the assembling process which is required. Rest, everything is there. So the moment the assembling process is done, the main article is formed after assembling each and everything that is come in that particular shipment. So that essential characteristic of the final article should be evident in these articles which are imported in an incomplete form or an unfinished form or an unassembled form or disassembled form. So examples are like automobile without wheels. So there are no tires and those wheels. Okay. So the rest of everything is there of the automobile. So what do you say? Is the essential character not there of the finished goods in such a condition?
Yes.
That means you don't identify that as a main article. That is a car. If you don't see the wheels,
But it doesn't solve its purpose.
no,
If
it
the
doesn't matter. If the essential character, see, ultimately you see what else is there. The rest of all the parts are there. Okay, so they are all built up. They are all assembled. Only the wheels are missing. So it is an unfinished article. It is an incomplete article, and it is attaining the main characteristic of the final article. So it will be classified as a automobile itself, as a motor vehicle itself. You cannot classify it as anything else. This is what Rule 2A says. Okay. Another example is a piston. Okay, forged rough. That means polishing and all is not done. Okay, but after little grinding, drilling, polishing, it would finally attain the form or the final finished form of a piston. But all these processes are not yet carried out. It's just a rough piston. Okay, so what will you classify that as per Rule 2A? You will classify it as a piston itself, even if it is in a rough form, even if there are some processes pending. Okay, unpainted Almira. I already gave you this example. Car without seats. Same thing, same logic. Automobile or car without wheels and car without seats. The main essential character is not lost if the tires are missing or the seats are missing. So you'll classify them as a finished article, which is the car. Coming to unassembled or disassembled, if it is a completely knocked down or it is a semi knocked down, I already gave you the example. If it's a motor vehicle with each and every, the smallest to the largest, whatever the part is, single component, is totally disassembled. Nothing is joined or nothing is assembled or attached together. If it is in a CKD condition, you will, and it is giving you the essential character of the main article, then you will classify that as a main article. Same thing goes with the semi knockdown condition or dismantled bicycles. Okay, that is also like a CKD or an SKD condition. So it will have to be classified as a main item itself. This is what Rule 2A states. Okay, is Rule 2A clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So we'll go to rule 2b. Now, when we are doing the rules, please understand, you'll have to remember these rules based on how the item forms are, the article, the form of the article. Okay. Rule 1 is the article form is complete, full and complete. Okay. Rule 2, it has two sub rules, 2a and 2b. 2a told you the form of the article is incomplete, unfinished, unassembled, disassembled. Now, what form is Rule 2b telling you? Rule 2b is talking about combinations of materials or substances. Means like mixtures or combinations, where more than one or two articles or materials are mixed together or combined together. Then how would you classify the product? Because it may so happen that if, say, a single product A is made of product X and product Y, and product X is also having the classification number in the tariff, product Y is also having the classification number in the tariff. So how will you classify that entire product A? This is the situation for Rule 2b. So it's a mixture or a combination, that is the form of the product. It deals with products which are not classifiable by applying Rule 1 or by applying Rule 2a. So mixtures and combinations, you cannot fit it in Rule 2a, because 2a, the form of article is totally different from what the form of article of mixture or combination which you are having. So 2a cannot be applied. Rule 1, obviously you must have not found any section note or a chapter note which was telling you, or even the section title or chapter title which was allowing you to give a proper classification, or it must be giving you more than one classification code. Okay, so how one has to classify? By applying Rule 2b. Let us see the examples. Okay, now when you see the example, one example which I have mentioned here is horsehair. Okay, that's the name of the product. It's a combination, it's a mixture of what? It's a mixture of horsehair which is around 60%, and it also contains wool which is around 40%. Now, when we are having such mixtures or combinations, and it is the ingredients in that particular product, okay, are having certain weightage, by weight or by percentage or by proportion, you are able to establish that, okay, product X is 60%, product Y is 40%. So what Rule 2b tells you is the one which has the maximum portion or the major portion, you will have to classify that particular product under the major portion classification number. Like over here, when we say horsehair is described, it is having a classification number in the tariff. Similarly, wool is also having a classification number in the tariff. So your classification you will give for horsehair, because the portion or the percentage of this particular component is more in that combination. Another example, milk with vitamins. Now the word itself will tell you that milk is the major portion and vitamins are mixed in the milk. So obviously the portion of vitamins is less, but the portion of milk is more. So what will you classify this product as? Which HS code you will give to this commodity?
Milk.
You will give the HS code of milk to this, because milk is the major portion here. Okay, the essential character is more of milk over here. Second is coffee with chicory. That is a mix. Chicory is some portion of chicory is always mixed with coffee. So the coffee portion is definitely higher and the chicory portion is lesser. So you will classify as the HS code which is given for coffee, not with the HS code given for chicory. Okay. Natural rubber with 10% synthetic rubber. So that means 90% is natural rubber, 10% is synthetic rubber. So your HS code will be of natural rubber. Okay. Gold jewelry. It's a 22 karat gold, but it is also mixed with other metals. Like there must be some amount of, copper, or there's some silver, something like that. But what will you classify that as?
Gold jewelry.
Gold jewelry.
You'll classify that as an HS code which is given for gold, not for the other metals. Okay. So rule 2b, first and foremost, what is the format of the goods? They are in mixtures and combinations form. Point number one. Second is, when they are mixtures, you should be in a position to establish the portion or the proportion of the ingredients of the products which are mixed, how much each of them hold weightage or portion or proportion or percentage. This is the second point. So based on that, your rule to be tells you that the ingredient or the portion of that particular product which stands higher or which has major which is giving the major essential characteristic of that entire article, then the classification should be done as per that product itself, as that ingredient material itself. Okay. Now, when will to be fail? When there is an equal portion, isn't it? Like you have equal amount of horsehair and equal amount of wool. So then you don't know how it is to be classified, right? Because 2b is talking about the one which has the main portion, major portion. But what happens when the portions are equal?
Rule number 3.
So then you have to automatically go to the next rule. Okay. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4, they have to be applied in a sequence. They are not to be applied randomly. If rule 1 fails, then rule 2. If rule 2 fails, then rule 3. If rule 3 fails, then only rule 4. Got it? So these four, rule 1 to rule 4 has to be applied in a sequential order. Okay. So now let's go to rule 3. Is everyone clear about rule 2a and 2b? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, rule 3a, because rule 3 is having three sub rules, 3a, 3b, and 3c. So, what does rule 3a says? Rule 3a is saying that the items where the description is more specifically given in the tariff, that HS code has to be taken as the HS code for the entire product or the entire combination of the product or the entire composite good or the set. Okay. So here the form of your article is what? Again, it's like a composite good, or maybe two or more are mixed here, or there could be a set, or there could be a kit with different items placed together to serve one purpose. So this is the form of articles which are covered in rule 3, 3a, 3b, and 3c. Okay. So now what does rule 3a say? Goods consisting of more than one material or substance and classifiable under two or more headings. Same situation what we had in rule 2, similar situation in rule 3 as well. Heading which provides the most specific will be preferred. Specific description will be preferred. So if you are having say one product with the two components, okay, two products with two components, and the product A has rule 3A says that the one which has the most specific description, you will have to classify as per that. So here, if product X, which is 50% portion, and product Y, which is 50% portion, and product X, which is specifically having a description in the tariff, but product Y is not having a specific description in the tariff, then your classification will be as per product X. Got it? Did you all understand this explanation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Similarly, a heading that describes the whole product should be preferred against the one which describes part of it. So if there is a partial description and there is a specific description, or if there is a partial description and then there is a whole description. So wherever there is a specific description or wherever there is a whole description, that is given preference over partial description or general description. Okay. When will 3A fail? 3A will fail when you have both the descriptions specific. Understanding? So then you don't know no which one to take, because
Then
also
most
specifically
essential.
described. Yeah. So no, both are specifically described. So then 3A will not become applicable. Then you have to go to rule 3B. So before that,
Essential character.
let us see some examples of 3A. Okay. Kitchen fork made of stainless steel. I think we had already taken this example for some earlier while we were doing some, in the last week session. So if you see kitchen fork, which is made of stainless steel, so in chapter 72, okay, there is not 72, it is 73 actually. That's incorrect. 7323, table, kitchen, or other household articles. Chapter 73 is articles of iron or steel. Okay. So here there is a description table, kitchen, or household articles, and 8215, which is saying spoons, forks, and skimmers. Do you want me to go to those chapters and show you the headings? Chapter, okay, now when we open this, one is this articles of iron or steel, okay, and the other one is here tools, implement, cutlery, spoons, and forks, which is chapter 82. Okay, now let us first go to chapter 73. 7323. So you see, what is the heading title given here? Can someone read it?
Table, kitchen, or other household articles and parts thereof of
Of
iron
iron or
or
steel.
steel.
Stop there. Okay.
Okay.
So table, kitchen, or other household articles. So spoons, forks, all these, don't they come under the broad category of tableware, kitchenware? Do they come or no? Kitchenware articles, you don't feel that spoons also can come? What all items you have as kitchenware? You have plates, bowls, utensils, you have spoons, pans. Okay, don't you think so? This is all your kitchenware articles,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
correct? So it's a very general way of describing, but nevertheless, the scope that a spoon can go in a kitchenware is there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let us go to the 82 chapter, which is tools, implements, cutlery. In this 8215, now you see what is the heading saying: spoons, forks, ladles, skimmers, etc., etc., and similar kitchen or tableware. Now, what is Rule 3A is telling us? Rule 3A is saying the description which is most specific. You have to classify the items in that heading. Okay. So, where it is more specific, in 7323 or in 8215?
8215.
Because what is your article description?
Spoons, forks, and labels.
Wait, your article description is kitchen fork, which is made of stainless steel. And if you go to chapter 8215, the word fork is very specifically given in 8215. Was that so? It's a fork. He mentioned in 7323?
No.
No.
No,
So
ma'am.
we apply rule 3A here, saying that since it is more specifically described in 8215, so the kitchen fork, which is made of stainless steel, will be classified under heading 8215. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so most probably it will be 82159900, which is going as others, because then here it is a set, then there is an again which is clad with precious metal, then the second dasher is other sets of assorted articles, then there is an others category altogether. One is a plated with precious metal, and the second one is other than precious, plated with precious metal. So our kitchen fork will be classified as 82159900, because the heading is giving you the specificity, specific description here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, tufted textile carpets for cars. So this is what? What is the item? It's a carpet. But where is it used?
In cars.
In cars. So obviously it must be cut out and all shaped in such a way that it can, fit at the car base, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That carpet is a tufted textile carpet. So, what are the probabilities of classifying or identity? One is it's a tufted textile article. Second is you can say like it's a car part because it is used in cars. It's made for the car. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, two HS headings are getting attracted here. One is 5703 and the other one is 8708. Okay. So, if you go to 87, 1 minute, let me just. Chapter 87 is what? Vehicles. Vehicles other than railway or tramway, etc. etc. So, HS code or heading was given as 8708. What does it say? Parts and accessories of the motor vehicles of heading 8701 to 8705. Now, 8701 to 8705, if you see, 8701 is tractors, 8702 is motor vehicles for the transport of 10 or more persons, 8703 is motor vehicles and other motor vehicles for the transport of persons other than those of 8702, means which was mentioned more than 10 persons. Maybe this will be applicable for less than 10 persons. Then 8704 is motor vehicles for the transport of goods. Okay, so that is your 8704. And 8705 is special purpose motor vehicles other than those principally designed for the transport of persons or goods, for example, breakdown lorries, crane lorries, firefighting vehicles, concrete mixtures. So 8701 to 8705, we have seen what type of vehicles are there. So motor cars are also covered. So 8708 is saying parts and accessories of all those vehicles which are described from 8701 to 8705. So our product is what? Tufted textile carpet for cars. So if we are going to identify it as a part of car, then the heading should be 8708. Now, if you see 8708, there are single dashers are there. Okay, one single dasher is for bumpers, the other one is other parts and accessories of bodies. Okay, that is the cabs. Then brakes and servo brakes, gearboxes and parts thereof, drive axles with differential, road wheels and parts and accessories, suspension systems. I'm just reading the single dashers. Okay, other parts and accessories, which is the last single dasher. In that, radiators are there, silencers are there, clutches are there, steering wheels are there, safety airbags are there, and others are there. So I'm sure our textile carpet, which is used for cars, if at all we will classify it as a part of car, then this would be the classification, right? 87089900.
Yes.
Correct, because we are identifying it as a part of a car because it is cut out and made in such a shape that it has to be put in at the base of the car itself. Okay, now but nowhere it is telling you carpet, right? Nowhere. Did we see in this parts chapter, in this parts heading, was there anywhere mentioned carpet?
No, ma'am.
No. So we are going by a residual heading, others, other than whatever was mentioned above. So we are assuming that even the carpets will come over here. But if you go to chapter 57, okay, now chapter 57, which section?
We don't remember.
Section 11.
11.
Here, carpets and other textile floor coverings. Okay. So what was the HS heading? 5703. Carpets and other textile floor coverings, including turf, tufted, whether or not made up. Now you see carpets, tufted. Okay. So which is more specific now? 57
M0.
or 87?
5703.
5703 is more specific. So if we are applying rule 3a, which we must in this case, rule 3a says go for the more specific description over a partial description or over a general description. Okay, so our more specific description is 5703. Single dashers, if you are seeing of wool or fine animal hair, of wool or fine animal hair is given over here. That is same thing, it is repeated twice. Of nylon or other polyamides, then another single dasher would be here. Of other textile materials. Okay, other textile materials. Yeah, then the next heading starts. So other textile materials, here you have carpets and other floor coverings of cotton other than durries, carpets and floor coverings of coir, and here others. So where should we comfortably put?
Others.
57039090. Okay, so that will be the classification for our car carpets, tufted textile carpets for cars. Okay. Okay, so it's highlighted for your information over here. So is 3A understood by everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we have a situation where either both of them are specifically described or there is no specific description at all, everywhere it's all generally described, then we cannot apply 3A. Then we will have to go to rule 3B. Rule 3B, 3A, 3B, 3C, they apply for the same form of form or condition of the goods, that is mixtures, composite goods, or sets, or the ones which are collected together and are being bought and sold together. So this is the same condition of articles which are to be considered over here as well. So here, what 3B says, when you are having this kind of a article, then classification is based on the material or component which gives the entire article their essential character. Now, doesn't this sound something similar to what rule we have already may have understood? What we did in 2B, what was the understanding of 2B, rule 2B?
We saw the ratios of the two elements and
Yes.
then decided.
So we check the proportions and the portions of the mixed components which were there, and then we took the HS code of the one which had the major portion, or which gave the essential character of the main item with the major proportion. Okay. Now here 3B is also saying the same thing, something similar. but it is not telling you about the portion or proportion, because here it is telling you that which material or which component is giving the identity to the whole article, or which is giving the essential entire article its essential character. So what kind of items are we talking about over here? What kind of items we spoke in 2b? We spoke about like milk mixed with vitamins, and maybe you can say barley, wheat, and oats mixed together. So those kind of items are which were described in 2b. But what kind of items are being described here in 3b? So we'll see the example now. So, like I think this also example I had just mentioned in some session. If there is a bottle of liquor, okay, and there are glasses along with it, so we are talking about a set over here now. So there is a bottle of liquor, and then there are, say, maybe 3 or 4 glasses along with it. So the entire thing makes a set, a gift set. So how are you going to classify this particular item? It is a single item, but there are two, physically there are two items here, or you can say two items are combined together. One is liquor and the other one is glass. So how will you classify that? Which item is giving the entire article its essential character?
Liquor.
Other liquor.
Liquor.
The liquor. So you will have to classify this entire set as the HS code which is applicable for liquor. Understood?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so that is like a set. Okay, it's a set. Now let us take another example. Radio with clock. So your item is a radio, but there is a clock which is attached to it. It's like a complementary function which that article is also giving you. So which is the function, or which is the article or item which is giving the entire article its essential character?
Radio.
The radio.
Radio. So you will classify it as radio and not as a clock. So are you getting now what kind of items you will apply rule 3b to classify them?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you give me some examples for this particular rule on your own? Can you identify what kind of items can go in this rule? Think of set. Think of composite goods.
Laptop with charger.
Laptop with charger. So how are you going to classify that? As a laptop,
Yes.
because charger doesn't give the essential character, right?
Yes.
Okay, that example is acceptable, because we are basically referring it as a set, laptop and charger. Okay, we are considering it as a set. Any example of a composite good? Like how we had radio with clock, can you think of similar item?
Fan with speaker.
Pardon?
Fan with speaker.
Fan with speaker. I didn't get it. What is it?
Ceiling fan with speaker.
Ceiling, a ceiling fan with speaker or with light?
Now speaker is there.
Acha, speaker is also come. I didn't know. Okay. So ceiling fan with speaker, or you can say light also. So tell me, how does this operate, the speaker? Like this, you Your speakers are fitted to the fan,
Bluetooth only.
so it gets you'll get the sound effect around the room.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you get the surround sound. Okay. So how will you identify this? Which is the item which is giving the essential character for the entire article?
Ceiling fan.
So you will put it as a fan. Okay. Just like how you put it here as a radio, you'll put it as a fan. So say now, for example, pen with laser. Okay, that laser, that light.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the main what is the essential character over here?
Pen.
Pen. Okay, pencil with eraser at the
Okay.
back. So what's the essential character?
Pencil.
Pencil. So you see, these are your composite good types. Okay, you don't identify them differently. You identify them with the article which is giving the main character of that entire article. Okay, and when we are talking about set, one to we saw liquor set. Any other set you can think of? Cosmetic set.
Toolbox.
Yes. Now cosmetic set will depend whether it is a skin, whether it is hair. Okay, so accordingly in your chapter you will have you're having cosmetics for skin preparations, or cosmetic preparations for hair, or for other things. So accordingly that set will go as per what set it is, whether it is a skin cosmetic, whether it is a hair, or whether it is any other things. Okay, somebody said toolbox. Okay, toolbox, but you will have to identify which one. Supposing if it's like a, say, a garden toolbox. So what you will have in garden toolbox? You will have a pickaxe. Okay, then you may have a shovel, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So accordingly you will have to identify which is the main. So pickaxe gives the main characteristic, so you will have to classify that toolbox with the HS code of the pickaxe, because in a set you will have to find the main role player. Okay, so like if I say a shaving kit, so a shaving kit will have a razor, scissors, comb, lotion, cream, okay, etc. So which is the main role player? The razor. So whatever is the HS code of the razor, it will become applicable for this entire shaving kit. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the set and composite goods, you have to understand very clearly how you identify your item which you have to classify, because 3B is very clear. Your composite goods or your sets means they should complement each other, huh? Now if I say set containing cheese, olive oil, and say sauce, okay, is this a set?
No, ma'am.
This doesn't qualify the definition of a set. Okay, so when you are having, if your importer is saying that अरे ये तो मैं साथ में ही बेचता हूँ, साथ में ही खरीदता हूँ, ये सेट है, you will have to say कि नहीं, ये सेट नहीं है, ये तीनों को अलग अलग क्लासिफाई करना पड़ेगा. So this will demand merit classification. Are you understanding what is merit classification?
Yes, ma'am.
Each
Yes,
item will
ma'am.
be classified in its own HS code. That is called merit classification. ऐसे तो हम कुछ भी सेट बना के बोलेंगे कि सेट है ना. What is the definition of a set? Definition of a set is it should complement each other. It should have a single objective. Okay. Now if I say your Maggi noodles, क्या आता है उसके साथ?
Spices.
Noodle and masala.
टेस्ट मेकर आता है जिसमें सब स्पाइसेस रहते हैं. तो ये सेट हो गया.
Yes.
दिस इज ऑफ कोर्स अ सेट. आपको दोनों चाहिए ना एक कंप्लीट डिश बनाने के लिए मैगी नूडल्स का. तो ये जाएगा नूडल्स. नूडल्स इज द मेन रोल प्लेयर हियर because it is a set. It is qualifying. Okay, whereas this kind of sets which are made are not a set. They may have, you may have made it as a set, maybe to, you know, as a to package it together or to, you know, move it together, but definitely it is not a set. Is 3 understood? Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's proceed further now. Now, what happens when you cannot identify the main role player, the hero of the set? Okay, or functions, matlab every item is having its individual function, important functions. You cannot identify कि this is giving the main characteristic, essential characteristic इसके वजह से आ रहा है. ऐसे होते हैं आइटम्स. तो तभी क्या करना है? तो 3B फेल हो जाता है. 3B फेल होता है तो 3C के पास जाना होता है. अभी 3C क्या बोल रहा है? What does 3C say? When 3A 3B doesn't apply, okay, and when goods seem to fit in more than one heading, okay, essential character also cannot be determined, then the product should be classified under the heading which occurs last in the numerical order amongst those which equally merit consideration. What does this statement mean? Last numerical order amongst those which equally merit classification or consideration. So for example, say there is a item which is again a set, उसमें socks है और उसमें ties है. It is a set. Does it fulfill the definition of a set? Socks and ties, or say handkerchiefs, socks and ties. Do they fulfill the definition of a set?
No.
Why not? Aren't they accessories like used in clothing? Like men's clothing accessories में ये items को अगर हम set करके देंगे तो वो set नहीं होगा. Socks and ties,
होगा मैम.
belt and wallet,
होगा मैम.
होगा ना. Set का definition qualify होता है उसको. Okay, तो अभी यहाँ पर set is it is because ऐसे चीजें साथ में suppliers can sell and you know customers can buy together as a set. But then how will you classify? Because socks का heading है 6115 और ties का heading है 6117. इसमें से कौन सा item main role play कर रहा है यहाँ पर? कौन सा item essential character दे रहा है पूरे item को, पूरे article को? Are you able to establish that?
No मैम.
आप नहीं बोल सकते ना कि socks is giving the essential character और ties नहीं दे रहा है. दोनों का equal contribution हो रहा है ना यहाँ पर.
Yes मैम.
Both of them
But
are
as per rule 36117 में जाएगा.
हाँ, तो जब हम एस्टैब्लिश नहीं कर पाते हैं कि कौन सा मेन रोल प्ले कर रहा है, क्योंकि दोनों का इक्वल इम्पोर्टेंस है, तो रूल 3C ने क्या बोला कि take the classification which occurs last in the numerical order which equally merit consideration. न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर सबसे पहले जितने भी आइटम्स है उसका एचएस पहले फाइंड आउट करो. ओके, अभी यहाँ पर हमने ऑलरेडी फाइंड आउट किया है. सॉक्स का 6115 है और टाइस का 6117 है. Classify it with that HS which comes last in the numerical order. इसको अगर हम ascending order में रखेंगे तो last in the numerical order 6117 आता है, क्योंकि 6115 is before that. So according to 3C, this entire gift set will be classified under HS 6117. They are having equal importance in that entire set. So when such a situation comes, what 3C tells you, take the HS which comes last in the numerical order. So what we did, we found the heading number for socks, which is 6115, and we found the heading number for ties, which is 6117. If we put them in an ascending order, which heading will come last in the numerical order? 6117. 6115 and 6117 दो ही तो है यहाँ पर, तो लास्ट वाला कौन सा है इन न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर? अगर हम देखने जाएंगे तो 6117. तो वो पूरा गिफ्ट सेट को कौन सा एचएस कोड एप्लीकेबल होगा एज पर 3C? 6117.
Yes.
अभी समझा?
Got it.
Okay, so this is very important. Here 3C is to be applied only when 3A and 3B fails. Okay, another example which is given here is like a belt. Okay, it's either a conveyor or a transmission belt, and there are 3 layers which are given, equal layers. One layer is of rubber, the other layer is of canvas, and the bottom layer is of plastic. So since all the 3 are of equal portion, equal weightage, equal proportion, okay, and each one of them are having their own heading numbers, like rubber जो है वो 4010 में जाएगा, canvas का belt अगर है तो 5910 में जाएगा, plastic अगर है तो 3926 में जाएगा. तो 3C के हिसाब से when you are not able to establish the main role player in this 3 items, then उसको numerical order में उसको डाल दो, तो जो last होगा उसी के हिसाब से classification होगा. तो अभी अगर हम तीनों को देखेंगे तो लास्ट न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर कौन सा आता है? 59 10,
59
क्योंकि वो चैप्टर्स, ये चैप्टर्स हैं अभी अलग अलग चैप्टर में आ रहे हैं, तो चैप्टर्स के असेंडिंग ऑर्डर अगर आप देखोगे तो लास्ट 59 चैप्टर ही है इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर। तो ये जो बेल्ट है इसको आपको 59 10 में लेके जाना पड़ेगा एज आफ्टर अप्लाइंग रूल 3C। ओके ओके, और एक अभी यहाँ पर एक एग्जांपल दिया है, कार और मोटर व्हीकल विच इज यूज्ड टू ट्रांसपोर्ट बोथ पैसेंजर्स एज वेल एज गुड्स। ऐसे कौन से व्हीकल्स होते हैं पैसेंजर्स और गुड्स दोनों का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन वो व्हीकल करता है?
ओमनी
बस
ओमनी और इको।
बस, सी बस एंड ऑल इज ओके।
Train.
Goods matlab you are talking about luggage, okay? But if you say a goods transport, like you know, like a truck type, okay, but at the same time even passengers also can travel in it.
Ma'am, vessels.
fly
Huh?
ships
Abhi hum 87 chapter I have opened here because it was open, not 87, sorry. This is, so let me just go back. Vehicles, okay, 87 chapter. Now if you say vehicles which are used for moving passengers, okay, 8701 तो नहीं आएगा, 8702 जिसमें persons का we can vehicles which are used for transporting persons, 8702, okay. Then 8703 is also vehicles for moving persons, वहाँ पर more than 10 persons, यहाँ पर less than 10 persons. 8704 motor vehicles for the transport of goods. गुड्स के व्हीकल्स यहाँ पर आते हैं 8704 में, पैसेंजर्स के व्हीकल्स 8702 और 8703 में आता है, गुड्स का व्हीकल्स 8704 में आता है, ओके। तो नाउ टेल मी, कार और मोटर व्हीकल विच इज यूज्ड टू ट्रांसपोर्ट बोथ, मतलब पैसेंजर्स को भी मूवमेंट हो सकता है और गुड्स का भी मूवमेंट हो सकता है, इट्स अ मल्टी यूटिलिटी टाइप ऑफ व्हीकल. So since there is no one heading which is having classification of vehicles where both can be done, but since there are separate headings, 8702 for passenger movement, 8703 for passenger movement, 8704 for goods movement, तो अगर रूल 3C अगर हम अप्लाई करेंगे यहाँ पर, तो लास्ट इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर कौन सा आता है?
मैम सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट,
Yes.
बट मुझे 3C रूल समझा ही नहीं.
क्या?
हाँ.
बाप रे, अगर इतना टाइम के बाद अगर बोलोगे तो कैसे चलेगा? मैंने तो अभी एक को वापस एक्सप्लेन भी किया था when one of you had asked.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry ma'am, if you can explain.
Okay. Now tell me what you have understood from 3C. Let's go that way. उस हिसाब से
Last
जाएंगे.
numerical.
हाँ, लास्ट न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर ये समझा आपको या नहीं समझा?
हाँ, लास्ट न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर में लेना है, राइट?
हाँ, ये समझा ना आपको?
हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत.
नहीं, एग्जाम्पल्स मैंने देखे, आपको एग्जाम्पल्स के तौर से समझा कि नहीं समझा?
या फिर आप एक एग्जांपल ले सकते हो क्या? एक एग्जांपल से एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो?
मेरे स्लाइड्स में ना एग्जाम्पल्स ही एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. ये जनरल रूल्स ऑफ इंटरप्रिटेशंस विदाउट एग्जाम्पल्स आप समझ ही नहीं सकोगे. ओके, इसी ये एग्जाम्पल को रिपीट करते हैं. यहाँ इस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल में कितने आइटम्स हैं?
2.
कितने आइटम्स हैं? 2. कौन से हैं वो? आइटम के नाम बताओ.
सॉक्स एंड टाइल्स.
सॉक्स एंड टाइज, ठीक है. अभी ये एक सेट है, यही बोला है ना आपको, गिफ्ट सेट, include socks and ties. मतलब एक यूनिट में 1 pair of socks and 1 tie. This is how one set is there, which is normally bought and sold together. ठीक है. Now हम लोग 3C में क्यों आए हैं? क्योंकि एक तो वी आर नॉट एबल टू एस्टेब्लिश कि कौन सा आइटम मेन रोल प्ले कर रहा है या कौन सा आइटम का पोर्शन ज्यादा है. कैन वी एस्टेब्लिश दैट इसमें? वी कैन नॉट. नो, ऐसा लग रहा है कि स्टॉक्स एंड टाइज दोनों अपने अपने जगह पे एकदम स्ट्रांग है, राइट? प्लेयर्स हैं.
Yes, ma'am, we cannot.
अपना अपना रोल दे आर प्लेइंग इंडिपेंडेंटली एंड वेरी स्ट्रांगली. ऐसा नहीं कि एक ज्यादा मायने रखता है और एक कम मायने रखता है. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं मैम.
अगर ऐसा होता तो 3B में आपको क्लासिफिकेशन मिल जाता,
Yes, ma'am.
राइट? क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है तो आप 3C में आ गए. ठीक है. अभी 3C क्या बोलता है कि आप लास्ट इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर का एचएस कोड या हेडिंग आप देख लो. अभी लास्ट इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर मतलब कौन से एचएस, जितने भी आइटम्स हैं सेट में. यहाँ पर अभी 2 आइटम दिए हैं. अगर समझो 4-5 आइटम होते तो आपको पांचों के पहले एचएस हेडिंग्स या एचएस कोड्स निकालने पड़ेंगे. जैसे कि हमने यहाँ पर दोनों का निकाला है हेडिंग नंबर्स. एक है 6115 सॉक्स के लिए और दूसरा टाइज है 6117. करेक्ट?
Yes, ma'am.
नाउ वापस 3C पे आते हैं. व्हाट इट सेज, लास्ट इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर. न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर का मतलब क्या है? इफ आई से 1 से लेके 10 तक रोल नंबर, कौन है लास्ट वाला रोल नंबर 1 to 10?
10.
रोल नंबर 10, बराबर. तो यहाँ पर अभी सॉक्स का रोल नंबर है 6115, टाइज का रोल नंबर है 6117. तो लास्ट वाला रोल नंबर किसका है?
6117.
Ties. So you have to give that classification number to the whole set.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
This is what 3C is telling us to do. Very simple. इतना complicated rule भी नहीं है ये. बस आप सब आइटम्स का एचएस कोड निकालो और जिसका एचएस कोड लास्ट में आता है वो एचएस कोड पूरे सेट को अप्लाई कर दो.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
ओके. तो अभी हमारी बात हो रही थी कार और मोटर व्हीकल विच इज यूज्ड टू ट्रांसपोर्ट बोथ पैसेंजर्स एज वेल एज गुड्स. अभी हमने 87 चैप्टर में देखा ऐसा कोई हमारे पास हेडिंग नहीं है जो दोनों करता है व्हीकल. लेकिन हाँ, 8702 पैसेंजर मूवमेंट व्हीकल्स है, 8703 भी पैसेंजर मूवमेंट के लिए व्हीकल्स है, 8704 में गुड्स मूवमेंट के लिए व्हीकल्स है. तो अगर हम 3C अप्लाई करेंगे तो कौन सा एचएस कोड हमको एक्चुअली पिकअप करना पड़ेगा इस टाइप के व्हीकल के लिए? Last in the numerical order,
8704.
8704. So we will have to give this vehicle which can transport passengers as well as goods, the HS code or the heading number which will get attracted as per rule 3C is 8704. Okay?
लेकिन मैम 8705 में,
चलो 8705 में भी जाते हैं. क्या है 8705?
special purpose motor vehicles other than those principally designed for the transport of person or goods.
Person or goods. और
Okay.
जो डिस्क्रिप्शन जो मैंने दिया है as well as goods, passengers as well as goods लिखा है. Tariff language. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So we are basically trying to understand rule 3C. अभी देखो rule 3C very rare ऐसे यूज होता है because ज़्यादातर इंडिया में okay, अगर ऐसे मल्टी यूटिलिटी और मल्टी कॉम्बिनेशन टाइप के अगर आइटम्स होते हैं तो एकदम सीधा सीधा यहाँ पर एक प्रिंसिपल हम लोग फॉलो करते हैं कि जिसका वैल्यू ज़्यादा है उसके हिसाब से उसका एच एस कोड लगेगा पूरे आइटम को. ओके. because rule 3C comes with certain set of conditions. It is not to be applied as it is. There is something called as d minimum value. मतलब इंडिविजुअल आइटम्स के वैल्यूज को भी कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा while allocating the classification number. सिर्फ लास्ट इन द न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर आया और अप्लाई किया वैसा नहीं है. अगर बाय चांस कोई भी आर्टिकल जो न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर के लास्ट में नहीं है लेकिन ऊपर है लेकिन उसका वैल्यू हाई है, तो देन इन दैट केस you know the classification sometime needs to be rested upon the high value component, not the last numerical order component. So that is also a conditional. It's a condition based interpretative rule. It's not necessarily it has to be applied as it is. Huh, low value products, regular general purpose use products, there you can go with the last numerical order. But if there is some kind of high value in it, or some kind of high function based item is there, then of course you have to give the priority to that particular aspect which is there in that set or in that composite goods. Okay, so let us just quickly revise. Rule 1, what does it tell you to do?
Headings or subheadings are just references.
Finish good.
The titles, okay, section titles, chapter titles, heading titles are for what purpose?
Reference.
The purpose is only for reference, only for guidance. Whereas classification should always be determined by doing what? By applying?
Chapter notes, section notes.
By applying the section notes, chapter notes, and the heading notes. This is how rule 1 tells us that this is how you should classify. That's why majority of our classification is done by using rule 1. Okay. Now, rule 2, there are two parts. What does rule 2a says? What is the condition in which the goods should be for rule 2a?
Incomplete. Unfinished.
And unassembled and disassembled. So what happens if the product is in that condition? What does rule 2a tell us to do? How to classify?
Classified as a finished article.
Classified as the main article or the finished article. Provided what? Subject to. There is a condition. You can't just declare anything as an unfinished, incomplete, and then give the classification of a finished article. It has to fulfill something.
Okay.
Forgot. Provided the said item or product or article has or bears the essential characteristic of the finished article. Did we discuss this or no while doing 2A?
Yes, ma'am.
So this you should not forget. Okay, so we saw some examples here, like we saw cars without wheels or without tires or without seats. Okay, then unpainted articles, okay, or unpolished, or CKD, SKD. These were the examples that we saw in this. Clear? Okay, now tell me 2b. What condition the article should be in? क्या हो गया? मेमोरी
Mixtures.
क्या हो गया? हाँ,
Mixtures.
मिक्सचर्स. तो इतना टाइम क्यों लग रहा है? मिक्सचर्स और क्या?
Combination.
Combination.
Combination of the material.
Of more than one or two materials or substances. ओके, तो क्या हो गया? कैसे करना है क्लासिफिकेशन इसका? 2b क्या कहता है?
जो सब्सटेंस का प्रोपोर्शन ज्यादा होगा.
So go by portion, proportion, or weight, percentage. So go with the major one. Okay, or the material or substance which gives essential character of main item. Then you have to classify it according to that. ठीक है? ओके. हाँ, 2b कब फेल होता है?
जब प्रोपोर्शन इक्वल होता है.
When there are equals, when the proportions, weight, percentage are equals. Okay, so then it tells us to go to 3a or 3b or 3c. What 3a says?
More specific.
Yeah, go for the most specific. Specific what? Description
Description.
given in over, partial, or general description. Okay, but what is the condition of the items? It is the same what we have seen for rule 2. Okay, I'm talking about the condition of the item. Plus sets are added over here. Okay, so when does rule 3a fail?
When specific description is not there.
Okay, either everything is described specifically, everything is specific, or everything is generic. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then we have to go to 3b. So what does 3b tell? What is the condition? Again, condition is the same of the items.
Yes.
So what 3b advises us to do?
Most essential character.
Okay, so the main role player. I'm using terms so that it becomes easy to, remember. Okay, main role player or the item which gives identity. Which gives identity to the entire article or set. So use the classification of that. Okay, so we saw certain examples of composite goods and we saw certain examples of sets here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When does rule 3b fail? When you cannot
When we cannot identify essential character.
establish the main role player. More than 2 headings.
Then we can go to 3A, no? That where is the proportion is more.
Proportion is more, which rule you are saying?
3B.
नो 3b में proportion करना ही नहीं है, देखना ही नहीं है 3b में. 3b में हमको उस ingredient या उस product को identify करना है जो पूरे article को identity देता है या वो जो main role play करता है उस particular पूरे set में. हमने कुछ examples देखे थे. For example, we saw shaving kit. शेविंग किट में कौन सा ऐसा आइटम है जिसको वो which basically complements or which is giving the main identity of that kit कि this is a shaving kit.
We cannot identify.
It is a razor. Okay, क्योंकि शेविंग किट में काफी सारे आइटम्स होते हैं. रेजर होता है, सिजर होता है, कोम होता है, लोशन होता है, क्रीम होता है. Okay, you can name a couple of items which can be put in a shaving kit. लेकिन मेन कौन सा आइटम का फंक्शन शेविंग किट को आइडेंटिटी दे रहा है? शेविंग किट का मेन फंक्शन है शेविंग, नो? तो ऐसा कौन सा आइटम है जिससे शेविंग होता है? कम ऑन नाउ, ये सारे सिंपल क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स फटाफट दिया करो. हाँ, रेजर है. तो रेजर का जो एचएस कोड होगा वही शेविंग किट को, पूरा शेविंग किट को एप्लीकेबल होगा. ओके,
Okay, ma'am.
सो when 3b is failing here, तो 3b हमने अप्लाई किया, इसके लिए रेजर का एचएस कोड हमने पूरा शेविंग किट को डाल दिया. सिमिलरली मैंने और एक एग्जांपल दिया था, मैगी नूडल्स विद द टेस्ट मेकर पैकेट. तो कैसे हमने उसको आइडेंटिफाई किया? आइडेंटिटी किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? नूडल्स की वजह से या टेस्ट मेकर की वजह से?
नूडल्स की वजह से.
हम लोग प्रोपोर्शन के हिसाब नहीं जा रहे हैं यहाँ पर. हमको पता है मैगी नूडल्स का प्रोपोर्शन हायर है, बट वी आर नॉट गोइंग बाय द प्रोपोर्शन बिकॉज आइटम्स आर नॉट मिक्स्ड हियर. उसको साथ में रखा है, नूडल्स और टेस्ट मेकर दोनों को साथ में रख के सेट बना के बेचा जा रहा है उसको. तो जब वैसा होता है तो कौन सा प्रोडक्ट उस पूरे आर्टिकल को आइडेंटिटी दे रहा है? नूडल्स ना. तो वी आर क्लासिफाइंग इट एज अ नूडल्स. So that entire Maggi का जो पैकेट है, if the HS code has to be given, it will be given of noodles only, not of the spices which are there in the taste maker. उसका कुछ it will not be considered. It's complementing. Function is a complementary function. So this is how 3B is telling us to act when you are getting such items. But when 3B fails, 3B will fail when, like for example, cheese, olive oil and tomato ketchup, all three put together. It is not a set. So first of all, it will not go in 3B, neither will it go in 3C. So you will classify them on merit. But if I place socks and ties as a set, so can I say कि socks का major function है या ties का major function है? Can I put someone on top, put someone on at the bottom? कि तुम्हारा main function है, तुम्हारा complementary function है. Can I say that? यहाँ पर 3B fail होता है. That is what I am saying. When you are not able to establish the essential character. तो अगर 3B fail हो गया है तो आप वापस नहीं जा सकते हो 3A के पास. आप वहां से होके आए हो, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड। आप
Yes,
वहां से होकर आए हो तो आप वापस 3A में नहीं जा सकते हो। ओके, so then you will have to classify it in the sequence, numerical listing, which is 3C. So what 3C says?
Later is better.
Last in the numerical order, or in simple language, latter is better. मतलब जो लास्ट है उसको उसका एचएस कोड ले लेने का और सिलेक्ट करने का। तो सॉक्स टाइज, सॉक्स का क्या था, टाइज का क्या था, जिसका लास्ट आ रहा है नंबर उसको वही क्लासिफिकेशन नंबर विल बी गिवन टू द एंटायर सेट। So rule 1, rule 2 and rule 3, is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions? Any more confusions? Now let us go to rule 4.
Most akin products.
Most akin. क्या होता है akin?
Somewhat like identical product.
Similarity. Here we use the rule of similarity, principle of similarity. When is rule 4 usually used? कब हमको ये रूल का जरूरत पड़ सकता है?
New item.
This comes when there is a new product. न्यूली इन्वेंटेड प्रोडक्ट भी हो सकता है या न्यूली इनोवेटेड प्रोडक्ट भी हो सकता है या नया डिस्कवरी हो सकता है। क्या है डिफरेंस डिस्कवरी, इन्वेंशन, इनोवेशन का? एनीबडी नोस?
डिस्कवर मीन्स जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट था आपने उसको ढूंढा है।
हमको पता नहीं था।
और इनोवेशन, हाँ।
देन इन्वेंशन,
इन्वेंशन वो आपने इन्वेंट किया, वो पहले एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता था।
हाँ, लेकिन किसी भी सब चीजों को लेके कुछ बनाया, नया चीज बनाया जो पहले नहीं एग्जिस्ट हो रहा था।
यस मैम।
एंड इनोवेशन, क्या हो गया? अटक गया?
मैम
new
इनोवेशन
product has been
ये
developed.
इनोवा ट्रेड एंड एलएलपी से रिलेटेड है क्या?
ये क्या कोई मजाक था? हाँ,
वो मैं अभी तक सोच रहा हूँ इनोवा का मतलब क्या है।
इनोवा तो है ही नहीं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पहले तो प्रॉपर्ली पढ़ा करो क्या नाम है।
नहीं नहीं मैम, ये सुशील की कंपनी का नाम है ना।
सुशील की कंपनी का नाम है, लेकिन नाम भी तुम सही से पढ़ नहीं रहे हो।
ओह सॉरी, इंट्रानोवा।
हाँ, और मैं क्या पूछ रही हूँ यहाँ पर?
इनोवेशन।
हाँ, तो क्या मतलब कुछ लिंक दिख रहा है क्या आपको कहीं पर भी?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, सॉरी मैम।
कुछ भी किधर भी लॉजिक लगाने का। चलो बोलो, इनोवेशन क्या होता है? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस?
When some new product has been actually built by some company, so by new formulation and
मैम
new techniques.
इनोवेशन का मतलब ये होता है कि जो एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट जो होते हैं उसमें नया चीज इम्प्रूव करना, दैट इज इनोवेशन।
करेक्ट। ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट को अगर आप उसको मॉडिफाई करते हो या आप उसको रिफर्बिश करते हो या उसको और कुछ मतलब बेहतर बनाते हो, ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड इनोवेशन।
iPhone 16 to 17 तो वो इनोवेशन हुआ।
क्या क्या?
iPhone 16 to 17 जैसे न्यू आया ना तो इसमें मैंने इनोवेशन किया।
हाँ हाँ, वो तो फीचर्स एड ऑन्स हो गए, लेकिन इनोवेशन मतलब लाइक उसमें आइडिया भी रहता है। ओके, एक नया आइडिया भी जनरेटेड रहता है उसमें, लेकिन एक एग्जिस्टिंग, ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग को और बेहतर बनाने का, क्योंकि वो जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट है शायद उसका अभी लाइफ साइकिल खत्म होने को आ रहा है, बट द कंपनी स्टिल वांट्स टू मेंटेन दैट प्रोडक्ट, सो दे गिव एन अपग्रेडेशन टू द प्रोडक्ट or they make it something which will look differently. Okay, it will it will contain the earlier features, earlier functions, but there will be much more better improvisation in that. So that's like, you know, innovating. So customers will feel कि उनको कुछ नया मिला है, जबकि actually कोई existing चीज को ही अच्छी तरीके से कुछ बना के दिया हुआ है. सो डिस्कवरी, इन्वेंशन, इनोवेशन, ये जब ऐसे कुछ होता है और कुछ नए कुछ चीजें या नए फंक्शन बेस्ड आइटम्स हमको देखने को मिलते हैं, तो उसके एचएस कोड्स आपको स्पेसिफिकली नहीं मिलेंगे कस्टम टैरिफ में, बिकॉज दे आर जस्ट, यू नो, न्यू. इन ऑल द थ्री वी कैन से दैट दे आर न्यू. न्यू मीन्स it wasn't known earlier and now it is come into existence. So in such scenarios, rule 4 says that when you have such type of a product which was not there before and which is now in existence, and there is no provision in the tariff for such products, then you go by the rule of similarity. You go by the rule of akin. Akin means most similar to. Okay, so से अगर डिस्कवरी में एक नया कोई एनिमल या बर्ड का कुछ यू नो मतलब किसी ने फाइंड आउट किया, तो उसका नाम भी अलग है, एवरीथिंग इज डिफरेंट. बट बर्ड्स कैटेगरी में डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हाउ दे आर बिहेविंग, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हाउ दे आर, यू नो, हंटिंग और हाउ दे आर लिविंग, वो सिमिलैरिटी बेसिस पे जो एग्जिस्टिंग बर्ड्स है उसके कैटेगरी में रेसिडुअल हेडिंग में उसको फिर एचएस कोड दिया जाएगा. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? गेटिंग इट?
Yes, ma'am.
So similarity means maybe it is not a hunting bird, it just lives on nectar. So nectar पे there are hummingbirds. तो hummingbirds, लेकिन hummingbird नहीं है, कोई अलग ही species अभी मिला है. तो hummingbird जहां पर क्लासिफाई किया है, जिस कैटेगरी में hummingbird आ रहा है, तो वहां पर कोई रेसिडुअल हेडिंग होगा, अदर्स करके होगा. देयर यू कैन पुट दिस न्यू स्पीसीज. सो मोस्ट सिमिलर टू या सिमिलैरिटी प्रिंसिपल इज व्हाट मींस दिस. सिमिलरली मशीन्स अगर देखेंगे तो उसका फंक्शन जो अभी जो नया फंक्शन जो आया है मशीन में, पहले किसी भी मशीन में वो फंक्शन नहीं था. तो और कौन से फंक्शंस है जो ऑलरेडी कोई मशीन्स एग्जिस्ट कर रही हैं जिसमें वो फंक्शंस एप्लीकेबल है. So we can go and classify this particular new machine in that category because there are some features which are matching with the already existing machine. Some of the features, maybe very basic features or functions are matching, but the advanced features and functions are nowhere specified in the tariff. So similarity can be based on the product category. Similarity can be based on the external characteristics. Similarity can be based on the material composition, मतलब किस चीज से बना है, वो भी similarity पे हम classification कर सकते हैं rule 4 apply करके. Similarity can be also based on the function, similar functions which already existing product is carrying out. Similarity can also be based on what is the end product that it gives out, मतलब what is the end result of after using that product, what do you get. So based on that also similarity can be applied. So rule 4 is talking about most akin to or most similar to. Okay, so this is the last resort rule. Matlab, as I said, rule 1 to rule 4 has to be applied in a sequence. So rule 1 apply किया तो there your classification ends. Rule 1 आप नहीं apply कर रहे हो, आप rule 2 में जाओ, 2A 2B. अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो 3 में जाओ, 3A 3B 3C. अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो rule 4 में जाओ. रूल 4 में कहीं ना कहीं आपको डेफिनेटली वो क्लासिफिकेशन मिल ही जाएगा, बिकॉज इतने सारे रेसिडुअल हेडिंग्स देखे रखे हैं हर चैप्टर्स में, हर हेडिंग्स में, that you are bound to get a classification number for your product, even if it is a new product. Okay, now let us see some examples. Currency note counting machine. Now it was a time when currency note counting machine did not exist. Similarly, there was a time when ATMs did not exist, but ATMs came. So how was ATMs classified? Okay, so ATMs are functions are what? They dispense money, right? You enter some data, it processes it, and then it will dispense that much amount. Correct? This is the function of the ATM machine. So you can say that it acts like a what do you say? It follows the
Vending
command and
machine.
processes it. Pardon, vending machine. Okay, but more than vending machine, ATM machines were most akin to principle was applied to the cash registers or the currency counting machine. That function was most similar, no, in an ATM machine. कैश
Yes,
काउंट
ma'am.
करके डिस्पेंस करना. तो बैंक्स वगैरह में तुम्हारे करेंसी नोट काउंटिंग मशीन्स तो रहते ही थे, जहां पर वो नोट्स रखते थे और वो मशीन काउंट करता था. तो जब एटीएम को एचएस
Yes,
कोड
ma'am.
नहीं दिया गया था, जब एटीएम्स नए नए आए थे, तभी उनको करेंसी काउंटिंग मशीन के इसमें ही उसको क्लासिफिकेशन करा के लेते थे. ओके. So there are various products like that which have some similarities and which may not have, but eventually a World Customs Organization, that is WCO, will eventually add the products in the respective chapters. We all know how the chapters are placed. We all know how there are gaps. आपने देखा ना, सिंगल डैश के बाद डायरेक्टली 3 डैश आता है, फिर कोई कोई डबल डैश के बाद डायरेक्टली 4 डैश आता है, कभी कभी डायरेक्ट 4 डैश ही रहता है सिंगल डैश के बाद. तो जो डैशेस मिसिंग है बीच में, दोज आर स्पेसेस दैट आर रिजर्व्ड, those are gaps which are reserved. So tomorrow if there is something similar that comes into existence, easily WCO can insert it in that HSN, in that schedule. उनको कुछ ज्यादा रिवैम्प करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वहां पर ही कुछ नया 6 डिजिट इंट्रोड्यूस किया और डाल दिया वो प्रोडक्ट, and all the countries have to then start following accordingly. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now wait, let me just take you to the whiteboard. Okay, now I'll give you all the product names. I just want you to tell me that where do you think this classification should be applied, and what general interpretative rule you should apply while doing this classification. Okay, I'll just write the product name on the board. Chocolate powder mix, where cocoa portion, the cocoa is greater than 5%. चैप्टर नंबर्स बता दो मुझे अभी, आपको क्या लगता है कौन से चैप्टर्स में ये यूजुअली इट विल गेट अट्रैक्टिव.
Section
18,
Chapter
18,
chapter 18. Any other chapter? What if I say also look for chocolate powder mix where cocoa portion is less than 5%? Chapter 21. Now if you go to chapter 18, okay,
in
is it
chapter
there?
18, there is no specification about of 5%, less than 5%, and more than 5%.
Not there? Okay, let us see. But
No.
which chapter? This is a chapter which you saw? Cocoa and cocoa preparations.
Yes, that only.
Okay, let's go there. So you have 1806, okay. 1806 is chocolate and other food preparations containing cocoa, okay. So cocoa powder containing added sugar or other sweetening matter. Other preparations in blocks, slabs or bars weighing more than 2 kg or in liquid, paste, powder, granular or other bulk form in containers or immediate packings of a content exceeding 2 kilograms. Okay. And here others in blocks, slabs and bars. Okay, so there is no indication. I think I must have referred a heading note and I must have given you that, because in the heading note it is mentioned that if it is greater than 5% cocoa, then you classify it in chapter 18. But if it is less than 5% cocoa composition, you classify it in chapter 21. Let us just check 21 also at the same time. 21 miscellaneous edible preparations. Um, okay, it's not here also. So 21 we are referring to 2106. Food preparations not elsewhere specified or included. Okay, anyways, now over here in this case, where is my whiteboard? So chocolate powder mix, cocoa greater than 5% and cocoa less than 5%. By virtue of heading notes, here it will go when it is less than 5% and here it will go when it is greater than 5%. So which rule are we applying over here when we are referring to the notes and when we are classifying? Which GRI are we talking about here?
2B.
GRI?
2B.
No.
Extra.
3C.
No. We are referring this and we are classifying, no? Which rule tells you that classification should be determined by using the
One.
section, chapter, heading, notes?
First one.
1.
GRI 1. Okay. Okay. Now let us take another proper example. This though there was a heading note, not chapter or section note. But let's see. Unassembled engine block with pistons and crankshafts. How are you going to classify this product as?
Finished product.
As a
Finished good.
finished product. Okay. But should we check whether rule 1 anything is there for us? Because see, we have to apply the rules in a sequence. So till the time we come to 2A or 2B, we have to see whether rule 1 also is applicable or not over here. Okay. Where do you think this section would be of engine? Which chapter do you think? What is an engine?
Machinery.
So shall I say section 16?
Yes.
Okay. So 84 chapter. Let us check whether there is anything in the notes. Now refer to note 2B. Other parts, if suitable for use solely or principally with a particular kind of machine or with a number of machines of the same heading, including a machine of heading 8479 or 8543, are to be classified with the machines of that kind or in heading 8409, 8431, 8444, etc., etc., or 8538 as appropriate. Now, if you see 8409, okay, 8409, if you check, parts suitable for use solely or principally with the engines of heading 8407 or 8408. So, in your 84 chapter, 8407, 8407 is talking about spark ignition, reciprocating or rotary internal combustion piston engines. And 8408 is talking about compression ignition internal combustion piston engines. Okay. So the notes are telling us that in 8409, okay, you will classify them in 8409 even if they are, different parts of the main item. Okay, we'll go to that note again so that clarity is there. Okay, 2. Subject to note 1 to this section, note 1 to chapter 84 and note 1 to chapter 85, parts of machines not being parts of the articles of headings so and so, so and so. In this, all these headings are there and to be classified according to the following rules. So this part which we are saying, okay, parts which are, if suitable for use solely or principally with a particular kind of machine or with a number of machines of the same heading, including a machine of heading 8479 or 8543, are to be classified with the machines of that kind or in heading 8409, 8431, 8448. See, these are all parts. Okay, 8409 was parts of engines. Okay, as appropriate. However, parts which are equally suitable for use principally with the goods of heading so and so, and parts which are suitable for use solely or principally with the goods of heading 8524 are to be classified in heading 85. This is not relevant to us. Ours is 8409. Okay, so it means that 8409. Parts suitable for use solely or principally with the engines of headings 8407 or 8408. Our description is unassembled engine block with pistons, crankshaft, etc. So this we have to classify it as parts of engine. We are applying rule 1 over here, which is in chapter 84, note 2b. Okay, so it will go under 8409, which is the heading number. Okay, now supposing I would have not given all this, okay, all this is not there. We just mention unassembled engine block, or you can say CKD engine. Then you will have to ask what type of engine it is. Supposing I say it is compression, then how will you classify this? CKD condition, engine in a CKD condition. Will you classify it as parts? Will you classify it as engine?
Engine.
You'll classify it as engine, you'll not classify it as parts. Why? GRI?
Three B.
No. Why 3B? It's a CKD condition.
2A.
2A. Okay. So then the classification will be in 8408, which is the compression type engines are there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So today we did general interpretative rules from 1 to 4, okay, and we saw some examples, okay. We have still some more examples are there that gradually I will be showing it to you. Now we have 2 more rules pending, that is rule 5 and rule 6, that we will do it tomorrow, okay, at 7 o'clock. But so far, any questions over here, whatever we did today? Please, if you all are writing down, if you all are making notes, okay, make a note of it. And any doubts or any questions you have, please write it down and keep right now only. Tomorrow also you all can ask me. Since it's already 9 cross, so I will not stretch the session further. But tomorrow, please be prepared with your questions if there is any doubts.
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
I think there should be, okay. If you all are really paying attention and trying to understand, then you all should be having questions in your mind, which you should ask tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So can we end today's class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Then we'll see each other tomorrow then at 7 o'clock. Okay? Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.